and you're listening to the Potsy and Tino Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pans Network proudly brings to you its Tag Team Champions of the World! The Road Dogg, Tino Gray. The Badass, Rob Potsy Potchak. That's right, we're the old guys who do this on a weekly basis. The Potsy and Tino Show. We're brought to you by the Pots and Pans Network. Our theme song, as always, brought to you by Adam's House Cats, called the Wrestling Song. Thank you, Jay Lethal, for the little lead-in right there. And we got Chris Barrett already in the chat. And Chris Barrett's already asking the question, Tino. How you feeling, player?
I'm feeling good, player. Off the quarantine, knocked out that sinus infection, the cough's gone, everything's gone. So I pretty much have to say I'm probably about 95, 96%. I was telling Rob I went out to yesterday and today, and I think I just overdid it a little bit. So you still have a little bit of the side effects on, but other than that, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling like myself again, and I can actually, like I said, talk and not choke and feel like I'm about to die.
It's funny with me trying to sit there and do the Road Dogg thing at the beginning of the episode. I'm sitting there like,
you gotta take a deep breath from the diaphragm. You gotta come from the diaphragm.
The diaphragm. You gotta.
Another cool thing about the Corvino, my father-in-law, he's been out of town for 2 weeks because he does a traveling nurse thing. He looked at me. He's like, "You lost weight?" I'm like, "Yes, I have, sir. I've lost 13 pounds because a plus side of the Carino is the Carino diet. Is what I'm calling it. It takes away your appetite." So I wasn't really eating that much. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, so the funny part about it, I was telling my father-in-law is when everything hit, I gained that weight because Haley came home and I was, she's baking and I'm eating though I'm not supposed to, so I put my weight back on. And so I got hit with this and I'm back to the weight I was last year when I started losing. So I'm like, I'm going to keep that trend going. Probably when I try to work out a little bit in the garage, as much as I can do and try, to eat right. So I'm back on track. I'm like, it's like this thing hit like a reset button for me. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Awesome. Chris Barrett says in the chat, even Jesse James huffs and puffs when he does that now. So.
Yeah. We don't.
That is true. Although he can still do the "Be My Baby Tonight" better than Jeff Jarrett ever could.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah.
Speaking of Jeff Jarrett, he was on the pre-show last night for the pay-per-view.
Well, apparently he is still. What is he? Is he a road agent or is he doing something with the WWE still? Isn't
he? Yeah, he's either a producer, a road agent. I mean, he's something. They definitely hired him in to be more than just a guy that goes into the Hall of Fame. So interestingly enough, he's in the Hall of Fame. Never really thought his career was Hall of Fame worthy, but So Tino, Jeff Jarrett is the new Jeff Jarrett's the new music guy. Speaking of the music guy for the WWE, why is it that both Bayley and Seth Rollins' music starts out almost exactly the same? Starts out with that with that church hymn thing going.
I hadn't noticed that.
Oh, it's exactly the same thing. Like when they were on different shows, it was okay, but now that they're on the same show, it's like hold up there now, playa.
Seth is.
Thought you didn't have a cough anymore.
I did. I'm choking on something right now. Seth's on paternity leave.
As well he should be. He just had a nice baby. Him and Becky Lynch. Congratulations to both of them. Actually, while we're sitting here saying this, Tino, we got a big week this week. We got Christmas.
Yes, I was very excited about that. As is my family and everybody here. So we're gearing up for it. How about you? What are you guys? How are you dealing with not having to work this week from retail?
Well, so I still have to work, and you know my new job where I work now, I do have to work Christmas Eve, you know, and
Well, but like what, like 8 to 5 Christmas Eve?
9 to 5:30, my normal shift. Go ahead, bring them on the air.
No, I was just asking to get me some water to try to get rid of this. Sorry.
You see that? You see that he's got a sommelier, folks.
I do have a sommelier. An 11-year-old sommelier.
Chris Barrett, I think you're right. I think Sami Zayn is going to lose the Intercontinental title on Christmas. I'm a little disappointed by that because Sami Zayn has been just money.
But so has Big E.
You know, I think Big E's being brought up to the challenge. I think that he knows that he has to perform. But you know, anyways, we'll talk about wrestling here in a bit. But you know, you asked me about the job and everything, and you know, this week is a really short week for me because I had Sunday off and I have tomorrow off because tomorrow's my birthday.
Oh yeah, that's the big 5-0.
No, that's you.
No, not yet.
No, I turn 43 tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I know. I don't look it since I don't have any gray hairs.
What are you gonna do?
So I'm gonna play golf around noon. I'm gonna play with my brother-in-law. What's that?
Shane. What's up with Shane?
Yeah. So Shane, me, Chris Edge, and my mom are all gonna go out and play.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we're gonna bring my 71-year-old mom out to golf.
Where are you going?
Right across the street from where my sister lives, there's a place called The Crossings. We're gonna go over there and play. We were able to get a tee time. It's gonna be interesting because you know, like mom has to carry the team because none of us are any good. So mom's gotta be the one that actually wins for us. But it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Chris Barrett, yes, my mom does golf. Let's be real. My mom does not golf well, but she gets to go off. Hold on, she gets to go off the ladies' tee.
If she's got to carry your team, apparently she golfs well.
Well, she gets to go off the ladies' tees, whereas all of us have to go off like the back tees, right? So she gets like 150 yards on some hole. Where you know, like we could be in the water, so it's like we like to play what we call captain's choice, which is best ball basically. So out of the 4 people, you take the best ball and you all hit from that spot. It allows for the game to be fun. It's not really all that competitive. Everybody has a good time doing it. You know, if you're drinking, then you know it makes for a much better round because you know after about 3 or 4 beverages, you start hitting the ball really well.
Mm-hmm.
And Tino's working alongside the Street Profits apparently with the red cups.
I was just thinking about that. No, they're blue cups now.
They are blue cups now. They are blue cups now. So we'll go out. We'll play a round of golf. I got my new printer coming in tomorrow, as well. So
I can't wait to check that thing out. That sounds awesome.
Well, I got to get rid of this other one, man. This thing's like this, you know, like you can't even see how far out my hands are from it because like it's just massive. So the new one's probably going to be about the same size, but it's going to allow me to scan comic book art and do that kind of stuff with it. I ordered paper for it. I ordered everything that I need for it to start up. And then I also, you know, like so I got a funny story because you know. When these new video game systems came out, I was like, I'll be able to get an Xbox. I don't think I'll be able to get a PlayStation, so I'll pre-order one of those, and I'll probably be able to get an Xbox, you know, within like 2-3 months, and just be fine with it, right? And
right.
And you know, it's been a month since it came out now, and can't find them anywhere. But the other day, I was at work. I was at my work computer. You know, I got 2 monitors up. And I just happened to go by Walmart's website on my break, and it said, hey, check at 3 o'clock, and we'll be releasing the systems. And I'm like, well, crap, I'll just hop on at 3 o'clock and try to order one, right? So I try to order one. And this is before I ordered the printer, by the way, so I'll get to that in a minute. So at 3 o'clock, I click the refresh button. It says sold out until 3:10. So they already, I clicked it as soon as it said it. Look at that. Terrence is in the chat. Holla, holla, players.
What's up, T?
Tino says, what's up? I say, what's up? R-Truth says, what's up? The way it works. What's up? What's up? So hold on. I got to finish the story, man. It's not a short story, but it's a fun story. So, and I got an even better story that I'll tell before we jump into wrestling. You're gonna love it. So all right. So at 3:10 I try again, right? This time I get it into my cart, and I'm like, all right, all I got to do is pay for it now, right? So where's little Ricky? That's Chris Barrett just asked, where's little Ricky? Isn't it little Jimmy?
Little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy, yeah. So
the alter ego is Pretty Ricky.
Pretty Ricky is the alter ego. So I get it into the cart. Well, I don't have an account at Walmart.com, so I got to set up a whole account. And after I set up the account, guess what it tells me?
They're sold out.
It's sold out. I'm like, you sons of bitches, right? So it says check back at 3:20. Okay. Now remind you, I was at work during this, right? So I'm working hard. I'm like, no, trust me. What I'm learning now, I actually am doing stuff. So it's finally good. I'm doing stuff at work. So anyway, I at 3:20, I click the button again. I get it into the cart, Tino. I immediately go right to the payment options because I just set up my account, right? I even put my credit card information and everything. Got it to go through. Told me that I bought one, okay? Told me, congratulations. It'll be delivered on January 13th. And I'm like, I don't even care when it comes. I don't care because I already got a PS5. I don't need it today, but I got one. And then I get a text message that says, hey, did you authorize this charge on your credit card? I click yes. I immediately, after I click yes, get another message, an email from Walmart saying that they canceled my order because they thought it was fraudulent.
How much was the damn? What is Xbox? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it was $500. I even added the 4-year warranty to it. Okay.
So why did you?
I don't know, but they canceled the order, so I sent an email. I'm like, why the hell are you canceling my order when I authorized the credit card immediately? I get a bot, a computer program to reply to me. It's like, we're so glad that you got to use your Walmart.com ordering process. Please tell us how you feel about it. So I sent him another email, and I said, the hell is wrong with you people? Canceling orders from real people trying to order the damn thing, but you let computer programs order them. I get another message back, and this one's like, we're really sorry you weren't able to get it. Try in the store and see if you can get the item that you were trying to buy. They're not available in store. They're not available anywhere. So I sent another email, and I said, are you even a real person? Or are you just another bot like the bots that you allow to buy all your video game systems? I get a message from someone who says, I assure you, Mr. Potchak, we are real people here. And in fact, I too was unable to buy the PlayStation 5. And I'm sitting there thinking, this asshole didn't even read the message because it wasn't a PlayStation. I have a PlayStation. I wasn't able to get an Xbox. So that finally did me in, Tino. I finally said, screw it. I'm not going after the Xbox. I'm going to buy some stuff that actually makes me an adult. So I ordered my printer. It was a $300 printer. Best Buy gave me $30 off of it. I was pretty happy about that because they said, hey, it's your birthday month. You get 10% off of any one item. Cool.
Nice.
Cool. I bought the 4-year guarantee on it as well, so I was like, okay, if the printer breaks, I got something to take care of it, blah, blah, blah. But I wanted the 18 months no interest financing, right? The email Potsy God said, I assure you we are a real person. That's pretty pretty much it, Chris Barrett. That's pretty much how it happened. It was little Jimmy actually sending me that email. So by the way, I got another email from Walmart that said, "How was your experience with Walmart.com?" And I filled out the survey because it wasn't even about the Walmart.com thing. It was about the how was your experience with our customer service team. So I blasted them. I was like, one, you had a computer program message me 3 times after you canceled my order. What?
Your mic dropped.
Is it still on?
Can't hear you.
Check.
No.
Did you say no? This thing's telling me it's still working. How about now?
Now you're muted.
Now I'm muted?
Yes, your microphone's muted.
How about now?
There you are.
All right. Forget it.
Wow.
Turtle Beach Mike, you're just going in the trash tonight. I'm about tired of you. So I blasted them. You know what? It's the bots. The bots are turning me off. That's what it is. They're out to get me, Tino. The bots.
Stop talking about Walmart. You're talking about Walmart. Shut them up. Shut them up.
Exactly. It's like busted open every time Vince McMahon listens in and he hears them trashing Monday Night Raw. He's like they're never allowed back. Don't ever bring them back. You know, but all right. So I blasted them in this email because I was like, you assholes. You know, like how do you you didn't fix the problem. You didn't even try to fix the problem. All you didn't even apologize for what you did wrong. You just sat there and said, "How did we do?"
Sorry.
No, they didn't say sorry. They said, "How did we do?" That was it. Tino sounds like the Grand Master to an event, says Terrence.
Grand Master.
And Chris Barrett says, everyone who works at Walmart customer service is Pat Patterson. Who are you? You're a nobody. So I finally just said, screw it. I'm gonna buy some stuff for that makes me an adult, right? So because the printer, I was gonna buy the printer anyway, and I was gonna Xbox printer. It was one or the other. But Best Buy had $500, 18 months, no interest financing. Printer was $300. So I was like, all right, let me add the warranty to it. Now, what else can I get? I thought about buying another Stream mic because everyone tells me that the mics that we're using aren't top quality. So at some point we'll upgrade. And then I was like, I really want a doorbell camera. I just bought a house. I parked my car right in front of the door, right? So I was like, I'll buy a doorbell camera. So Best Buy had this awesome deal on like the high-end Ring, the Ring camera, where they were giving you the camera, the chime, and an Amazon Alexa with a 5-inch screen on it for the same price as if you just bought the doorbell.
Okay.
So it was $169, and it came with all 3. And like, so here's the little Amazon thing. Like, I'm just setting that up. I'm just setting that up right now. Apparently, it can talk like Pikachu. I don't know why, but no, do not play. Alexa, do not play podcast. Do not play. It's trying to start up and do something, so I don't want it to. So I ended up buying all that stuff. I got the Alexa before I got anything else, and that was the free item. But tomorrow the printer and the doorbell camera should both show up, so I'm pretty excited because I'm being an adult. I bought a doorbell camera. You know
how to put it up?
No. I'll get it up there. It'll work. It's just yeah. I mean the instructions should be in the box, right?
Hope so. But we don't do any drilling or anything.
I have a drill. If I need to, I can probably drill something.
We to call Shane.
That's exactly what I'll do. I'll just be like, hey, after golf today, come on over. Let's hook up my new doorbell camera. Let's act like adults now. So there's that. So and then tomorrow night, plan to go out to dinner with my family. That's something that we typically do for my birthday. So that ought to be fun. Chris Barrett in the chat says, I've contacted basically every person in the chain of command from the post office to find a package of mine. They've all been no help. Yes, that includes the Postmaster General. Chris Barrett, I am still waiting on 2 orders from GameStop.com that I placed, and I've now canceled one of them. So one of them is not coming. But my copy of Cyberpunk that I was talking about that was supposed to be here day 1 last week still has not arrived. And now they have no idea when it's supposed to arrive. So when I tried to cancel it, they don't want to issue the $60 refund yet because they think I may still get the game again.
No. They can keep that game now.
Well, considering PlayStation themselves is offering refunds on the game and took it off the PlayStation Store. Oh, because there's... Okay, so the game's massive, right? It's just a massive game. So anytime that there's one of these massive games, there's a lot of bugs in it. Like, some of them even crash the game, where you just can't finish it or whatever, until they patch it and they fix it and they do all that stuff, right? Well, apparently Cyberpunk, with the extra 8 months of development time and, Steve Carino showing up at their offices, put out a game that is barely playable on the PlayStation 4. So now they're going through and a huge debacle and everything with it. So they're trying to...
What happens if you get this game? What happens if you...
So it doesn't... Yeah, I know. I just heard it too. I think we're good now.
You hear that?
Yeah, it was me.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think we're good, Tino.
I can't hear you again. Hold on.
Am I still good, folks? Can everybody hear me?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. The headphones went to shit.
Well, now I can hear me and yours too.
Well, we have to live with that, unless you got time for me to switch computers.
No, I would just tell you to go ahead and turn down the volume a little bit. And get that little thunka 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 sound. Don't you have a pair of earbuds you can plug into it?
Yeah, but I have to go find them. And I don't. We're doing shit. No, this wonderful laptop that you swear is so much better than my MacBook. We never had this problem with my Apple.
Hey, we never had the problem with my stuff either.
Mm. Hey, Sketchy's on.
So Sketchy's in the Facebook?
Yep, he's in the Facebook. And he said he can hear both of us.
Well, that's good to know. Chris Barrett also says he can hear us. So, what else has been going on with you? Because I got a good story that I want to tell.
Apparently, shows are coming back. I thought that I have a show coming up in Cary, Chef's Palate. I thought it would be canceled for sure, but nope, got the email January 2nd. I guess we're riding again. So, hey, been missing money, so that's good.
Hey, I hear that.
Other than that, not a thing. Getting over, just getting over the virus and trying to get somewhat back to normal.
Oh, nice.
So,
well,
that's it.
I told you about it, and I can announce it today because they actually posted it on Saturday. Publishers Weekly this week.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the #1 magazine for ordering books and bookstore stuff. Advertised Junior High Horrors, Volume 1, Freaks and Geeks, on the inside front cover. this week.
That's
So,
awesome, man.
So happy birthday to me. That was a heck of a surprise. It also on the front cover actually has another Keen Spot book called Grubs, which is very similar to like a Calvin and Hobbes style book. So it's pretty awesome. And another book that I edit, Ninjas and Robots, is also advertised on the inside back cover. So some pretty cool stuff going on. Both Ninjas and Robots and Junior High Horrors be in stores in July. And you know, if the bookstore sales on it, thank you Terrence. Terrence says congratulations. Congratulations to Tino finally getting some shows back up too.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about it is that like if it does well, you know, the publisher's already like, hey, you want to do a you want to do a bookstore tour, and I'm like, yeah, sure. And I was like, are the distributors going to pay for it or anything? He's like, no. And I was like, well, I guess it'll be the East Coast then. Chris Barrett, yeah, it's pretty exciting considering Junior High Horrors will be in bookstores in July. I like to call it the Big Little Book of Junior High Horrors because it's going to be a 6-issue collection, but it's going to be at the 6x9 size, so it's going to be the same size as like Dogman from Daft Pelkey or Pilkey. He also just did something called Cat Boy or Cat Kid or something like that, but all ages books. So Tino, I don't expect you to really know who they are or anything, but pretty big sellers from Scholastic. Obviously, Junior High Horrors coming out from Keen Spot. What just got said in the chat, Tino?
Joe said, "Yeah, congrats on the shows, Tino. Rob, good luck, I guess." That's what you get, man.
Well, he's fiend of the show for a reason, and we're going to talk about the Fiend here in a little bit, or the lack thereof the Fiend, I guess, at some point. So Tino, you want me to tell this story?
Yeah.
I know I've been hyping it up. Like if we were a show that actually did commercial breaks, I would have went 3 commercials. You know, like being like, and when I get back, we're so
You should
all right.
do a picture-in-picture.
So so my sister Shorty and her husband Shane, they have a Honda
Pilot.
not a Pilot, but a CRV. They've got a CRV. And in South Carolina at their other house, they have a rat problem. And not like the Geico commercial where it's round and round, you know, none of that. Like, and Chris Barrett says, Potsy, you're worse than soap operas. You mean worse than Monday Night Raw?
Joe said, for real though, that's awesome, Rob. Congratulations.
Joe knows I love him, so and I appreciate that. So the Tino, you haven't been to their place in South Carolina, but it's down the road from a thing called the Pirates Voyage, which is one of those big experience things like medieval times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since Steve Carino's been everywhere, you know, doing his whole year tour apparently, they had to shut the place down. Well, when you shut down a place like that, the garbage dumpsters that feed all the rats and animals and everything else don't fill up to feed the rats and other animals and everything else, right? So they got to go somewhere to get their food.
Think I know where they went.
So my sister's been calling the exterminators like on a weekly basis, it seems like, to humanely get rid of the rats, if you will.
Okay.
But they don't restock the traps and everything after they catch rats in them. They just take them away. So if you have if you have 4 traps and you get 8 rats, you're still going to have 4 rats, right? Well, apparently the rats got cold at some point, and they decided to go into the underside of the car. And they drove the car up here right? Well, the rats didn't survive, but
Oh,
but Shane and I were driving over to Best Buy to pick up a new TV for them, and Tino, I'm gonna tell you, it smelled so bad in their car. Okay, we couldn't figure out what it was. This was before they knew what this was. So we're driving over to Best Buy, and I've got my mask on, and I'm sitting there. My eyes are tearing up. I'm sitting there. I'm like I can't believe you made me get into, like, we could have taken my car and thrown a 50-inch TV in the back. We can do that. That's easy. And my brother-in-law was like, no, the Honda, we could just toss it in there. Like, we know that there's plenty of space. And he's like, and someone had to deal with this with me. I couldn't do it by myself. And Tino, I'm gonna tell you, I've been trying to explain what it smells like in their car right now. And the best way to describe it, it's like if someone took a hot shit and then took baby diapers that have been sitting out in the heated sun for like 7 weeks, right? And then put it all together. And then after they mashed all that up, they said, "Hey, by the way, we're going to go ahead and take some New England clam chowder that's been like just baking, and it's gone a month and a half after it expired. And we're going to throw all that in there too. And then on top of all of that, we're going to take what Randy Orton did to The Fiend last night, and we're going to throw that on top of all of it."
shut up.
And maybe then, if you think that you would understand what that smells like, maybe at that point you know what their car smells like on the inside right now. So Shane and I are sitting there trying to figure it out. I'm looking on the internet while my eyes are all teared up and everything else. I'm amazed I didn't get pink eye from this shit. I'm sitting there like trying to look it up, like what could it be, right? So he turns off the air conditioning and turns on the heater. Well, the smell kind of goes away. So we're like, okay, so it's just coming from wherever the air intake is for the air conditioning side. So when we finally get to where we're going, we open up the hood, we clean out all of the crap that's in front of the air vents, because something actually said that could be where the smell's coming from. Oh no. That, like, we actually thought it was getting better, but it's because, you know how, like, when something smells really bad and you're sitting in it for a while, you go,
Get used to it.
you're like, it doesn't smell as bad anymore. Well, that's because you literally are covered in the smell yourself, right?
And you went into Best Buy.
No. We just had them deliver it to us, and then we drove off. But
And they were like, they went back inside and they're like, that car.
they're like, those two homeless guys, how do they own that car? I mean, so the next day, Shane sits there and he goes, "There's a fucking rat."
How did he know? He found it?
Oh yeah. He opened up certain things in the air intake and pulled a rat carcass out of it, right? So that thing had to have been sitting there for like 3 weeks and just died on the inside of the car. So then, this morning, my sister sends me a message. She goes, because Shane was like, the smell's not going away. Like, it's like a week and a half later, smell's not going away. Like, I'm like, well, why don't you just like open the doors and, like, it's not like anybody's gonna steal the car at this point. They get in it, they're gonna smell it, they're gonna be like, oh no, fuck this, I gotta get rid of this thing. They're not gonna steal it. Just leave the doors open. Like just let it air out for a month.
A month?
Just whatever. Because they keep joking. Oh, if we win the lottery, we're gonna give that car to our niece. She'll get a free car. And it's like, you're not gonna be able to give that car away right now, right? So Michelle sits there and messages me today because we hung out yesterday, and she was like, car smells even worse. We can't get in it now. Like, we don't know what's going on. Turns out there was another rat in it. They found 2 dead rats in the thing. 2! Chris Barrett says it was Missy Hyatt after hanging out in the ECW locker room.
Wow.
I don't think Balls Mahoney smelled that bad. Whew.
Wow. Balls baloney?
Balls, balls, balls. So yeah, that story just when she said that to me, she goes, no fucking lie, there was another rat in the car. I mean, it's so bad that it's like to the point where like even if you were to Febreze the thing, you're basically just gonna make it smell like clean garbage and
That's nasty.
carcasses.
So what are they going to do?
Well, now that they got the second carcass out of there, they're hoping that that'll take care of it. But you know what's gonna happen?
There's going to be another one. There's
There's
probably
gonna
more
be
than
another
two.
one in there.
They probably just need to take that car somewhere and let somebody just
Yep. You know what?
go through.
Just take it to wherever like people just drop cars off and they get stripped. I mean, it's still a CRV. It's got good parts in it, right? So I don't know.
I mean, take it to get the stuff so if they want to keep it. Say there's rats in here. Find them. Let somebody
Find them,
else
eat them. Who cares? They're yours now. Take care of
and
them.
then we'll come back. Whatever. That's terrible.
All right.
That's nasty.
So Tino, I'm going to ask you the tough question.
Yeah.
You ready for it?
Yeah. Hurry up.
You ready for this week's tough question? All right, here it is.
I hate this damn.
Do you think to be the director of the Fast and Furious movies, you have to give them an idea that is going to make them sit there and go, "That's so crazy. There's no way we can make it happen," and then they make it happen? Like that's the old like that is the resume of all right. Well, we've already raced cars in the water. We've already raced cars up and down buildings. And apparently, with the John Cena movie, they're going to space. So
Fast and Furious.
yeah. So I gotta ask: do they just sit there and go, "What's the dumbest shit we can come up with?" And then get Ludacris to say, "I'll still be in the movie."
I don't know. That's a good question.
Like it's the
I
tough
got
question. So Chris Barrett, T, Sketchy Joe, whoever's out there, you wanna go ahead and chime in on this? I told you I asked the tough questions. And while you guys are coming up with your answers for that, we might as well go ahead and start talking some wrestling. Right?
Yes.
So Tino, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you straight up. What was your favorite show last week? And we'll take the pay-per-view out of it. We'll go Raw, AEW, NXT, SmackDown. If you want to throw Impact into it, I'll let you. But what was the best wrestling program of last week?
I like SmackDown.
SmackDown was really good. You know what?
I love SmackDown.
You know what I bet wasn't really good, but I never watched it? Monday Night Raw. I can't watch it anymore. I just can't watch it. We moved this show to 8 o'clock so we don't have to watch it.
I'm going to watch it tonight when we get off here because I want to see what happened with the Bray dummy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But so I want to say I feel like NXT has put on two of the best week after week shows that I have seen in forever, and it was blasted in terms of ratings against AEW. AEW 857,000 viewers, NXT 675, I think.
Because of the Shaq, I bet.
Well, that's what I said too. Unfortunately, nobody actually shows you quarter-hour ratings anymore, because they did announce that the Shaq moment was the number one moment of AEW last week in terms of ratings. So yeah. But I'm going to tell you, NXT put on a match of the year match last week. And I'm not talking about Toni Storm versus Rhea Ripley. Although that was a damn good women's match. I'm talking about Pete Dunne versus Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
That match, Tino. That match. Like, I don't know how Kyle O'Reilly isn't the top babyface in NXT right now.
And are they going to pull him? Is he going to be the breakout star of that group? I thought it would be Adam Cole.
Well, Adam Cole's over. Like, you don't have to worry about Adam Cole. You can do anything you want with him. And if you notice, they're not doing anything with him. He came back so he could do the War Games, and he was immediately gone again. Now, and Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly's tag team partner, has a broken elbow or whatever.
Yep.
So
him and Roddy are really the only ones still, and they're not doing anything with Roddy either.
Well, and I wouldn't be surprised if they put Adam Cole with Roddy for a little while, just to keep them, keep them in the visual. Or I would anticipate that one of the surprises at the Royal Rumble is going to be Adam Cole.
Yeah.
I think that it's his time to come up. So I am going to say that I did like AEW. I don't think you and I talked about Jim Ross and having his conversation about how the flippy flop guys got to stop gathering like quail and catching the guy flippy floppy over the ring ropes in every match.
Right.
And it's interesting because yes, they do that almost every match in AEW. It's like even the old guys do it. Dustin Rhodes does it. Like what the hell is he doing that for? Like he's gonna break his own neck. And Jim Ross is basically saying you guys don't catch each other either. So if you're not gonna catch each other, then stop doing it.
Stop it.
Yeah, and the guy that apparently was supposed to be part of that 14-man match or whatever. Who did say that we're gonna all gather up like quail and each take turns jumping over the top rope and being caught by the other guys. Apparently didn't make it to AEW last week.
Who was that?
Brian, whatever his name is, the being the elite camera guy.
Oh.
So. And Wardlow didn't make it last week either, and apparently that was interesting. But what I thought was most interesting about all of that talking was that Dash Wilder and at least one other wrestler, and I can't remember who it was, both of them actually said Jim Ross is right.
Yeah. Well, that's FTR's whole thing. It's like, more fists, no less flips. You know what I mean? And they're from that old school. NWA, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard school of thought, to where you need to have more wrestling and less of the less sizzle, more steak, I guess, as JR would say.
Now, at the same time, though, I felt like AEW did put on a solid program. I felt that they're starting to make it look like they're building something with Cody and Team Taz. But I gotta ask, Tino, what the hell is up with Brian Cage, William Tubbs, or whatever the hell his name is, and what?
William Tubbs, really? William Tubbs. I'm done with you.
He's Tubby, but what's the other guy's name? Sammy? No, not Sammy.
No. I see him.
But anyways, what's up with them being scared of Sting?
Ricky Starks.
What's up with them being scared of Sting? Like
Sting's
60-something years old. Brian Cage, even if he got hit with a baseball bat, would still be able to take Sting out.
Yeah, but they had to stop Will Hobbs from because Hobbs still wanted a piece of.
Hobbs is his name.
Yeah, not Tubbs.
Sorry. He's a little tubby.
You won't say it to his face.
You never know. I might not get up, but I might say it to his face.
Hey, Tubby.
Exactly. It's like, but what's the deal? Like he's not scary anymore. His hairline is further back than ours. And now Sting's got like this weird like bowl of hair on the It's kind of like the Hulk Hogan cul-de-sac.
It's the crow's nest.
It's a wood stocking.
It's a would-be man bun.
Yes. It's just a man bun, but there's no other hair. So I have a problem with that whole angle, because you know that Taz can't wrestle. You know that Sting's not supposed to wrestle, because I can't foresee Sting being cleared to actually wrestle a real match.
I don't think Sting is going to wrestle. I think he's going to do something with Darby Allin. I don't know if he's going to be a mouthpiece for Darby Allin, some kind of manager for Darby, or what that is. I can't figure out what they're going to try, because I'm sure they're not. They're sure as hell not going to let him wrestle Darby Allin. Darby Allin will kill him.
But Darby Allin will die in that match, but he'll probably kill Sting too. It'll be like murder suicide.
The old Benoit.
We got Kenny Omega against Joey Janela, and it was a fun match. It was a fun match, right? But I gotta ask, why the hell is the title on the line against Sonny Kiss?
What?
Yeah, Sonny Kiss.
When?
This week.
I don't know.
Like,
Sonny.
Is there any reason why Sonny Kiss deserves a world title shot?
Is there any reason anybody deserves the one?
I mean, you could sit there and say Cody deserves a world title shot, although he's not allowed to have one.
I thought he wasn't allowed to have one as long as, was it Jericho?
No, I thought it was he's just not allowed to have a world title match because he lost to Chris Jericho.
That'll change.
They'll do something with that, with like a battle royal or something that Cody will win at some point. So I don't like what's going on with Matt Hardy and the
I don't understand
and the Street Profits.
Really? Why they gotta be Street Profits, Rob? You know they're not Street Profits. What's the name of that tag team, Rob? You trying to say all black tag teams look alike? What you're trying to say?
No.
Why they gotta be Street Profits, Rob?
Just because they remind
Private Party, bitch.
Because they remind me of the Street Profits.
Private Party, bitch.
You know what? You're right, because only one of them reminds me of one of the Street Profits. One of them reminds me of Montez Ford. See, I even know his name. I always want to call the other one Shad Gaspard, though. I just never remember the other one's name. What is his name?
D'Angelo Dawkins.
Angelo Dawkins. See, and I like Angelo Dawkins. And WWE Supercard is like my best card right now, but I still think that it's Shad Gaspard every time I see him. There's worse people to be compared to.
God rest his soul.
Chris Barrett just said it's because Vince Russo's writing for AEW. And then he just wrote JTG. He's not actually writing for AEW. I don't think that Vince Russo could ever get hired by AEW. Kind of like Jim Cornette.
Joe said that he'd vote NXT as the best because it's the only thing he watches.
Well, there you go. Okay, that's fair, Joe. So I'm trying to give AEW its props, right? I was entertained by their show.
Okay.
Because everyone keeps calling me a WWE mark, okay? And I am. I've always been a WWE mark. That'll never change. Even when WCW was at its heyday, I was still sitting there going, who the hell is this guy Diesel on WWE or WWF at the time? You know, like because I was still trying to go, hey, where's Tugboat? Hey, where's Duke the Dumpster Drosy? But anyways, so way back then, man, and then like I've always said, I saw Roddy Piper getting beat up by Hulk Hogan, and it got me back into watching wrestling. So And then Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mick Foley, and The Rock kind of just took over and made me have to watch WWE. You know, like I couldn't watch anything else. It was just that much better. Anyways, so of course Russo is working for AEW. Tony Khan loves Vince Russo. I don't think so. T just said, "Damn shame, Rob. Cancel Potsy."
Oh, whoa.
Oh, T. Anyways, so Pete Dunne versus Kyle O'Reilly. You basically have Mae Young versus Kyle O'Reilly in that match, and
What?
have you not seen Pete Dunne recently? Like, he literally looks like he stole the outfits of Mae Young and Moolah. And
That's terrible.
We're not talking Johnny Mae Young. We're talking about Mae Young when she used to smoke cigars and get powerbombed by Bubba Dudley. That's
So there's a difference?
what?
There's a difference?
Yeah, well, if you see those old pictures of Mae Young when she was young, man, she couldn't give birth to a hand back then, but you know, like
She might have.
she might have. Chris Barrett says Mae Young was cool. Pete Dunne will never be cool. That's not true. Pete Dunne is an amazing wrestler, but he needs to. He doesn't even look like the bruiserweight anymore. Like, he looks like half his size, and he's got bad acne. Like, and I know that's something you can't really fix. You know, like my brother and my nephew both have bad acne, and it's just kind of how it is. You know, but like you would think that the WWE would be trying to figure out
Something for this life.
yeah, like, or stopping with whatever it is that's causing him to lose all that weight and become emaciated and manorexic. So yeah. The Dexter Loomis being the host of the New Year's Evil.
I don't know how he's going to do it either because they were saying he doesn't talk. So we'll see.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, I absolutely love this Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa angle they got going on, even though it makes no sense at all.
I think they're going to end up putting them together. It's going to be like the bar, and just like they did with Nia and Shayna. I think that's what's going to be.
I guess they could. I don't want to see that because I like watching the two of them beat the shit out of each other.
If you listen to them both, they're both saying that that locker room needs to be more disciplined, and there's too many. They're saying the same thing. So I think eventually they'll link up.
And I gotta tell you, I am really excited about Karrion Kross versus Damian Priest. That and Scarlett, man,
she's smoking. She's smoking.
She I don't know what those spikes were that were like coming off of her that one week, but
that's why they called her the Smoke Show back in TNA.
I mean, she is
on Impact.
She is something else, man. Like it's like Daenerys Targaryen coming down to the ring every week. Except you're afraid of her. Like Daenerys, nobody was afraid until she started killing people. But anyways, I got nothing really else to say about either of those programs. If you got anything you want to say about AEW, please do. I want to give equal time if I can. I'm not going to be able to though.
Let's get to SmackDown.
So SmackDown was basically this week. It was the go home show, but it wasn't your typical go home show. It was, okay, we're going to have Carmella come out and get beat down by Sasha until Carmella smacks her in the back with a bottle. Okay.
Again.
We get to know Reginald's name, the sommelier. We get a little bit more with Bayley and the EST. I know she's one of your favorites.
Yeah.
The Miz and Morrison need to hire the APA service. Thank you for that one, Chris Barrett. That one's great. And Chris Barrett also says what really needs to happen is JBL and Ron Simmons need to come back as the APA. You know what? I'd be okay with that. But only for a short stint though. Like I wouldn't want to see them win the tag titles or anything else like so many of those other guys do. But I would love to see them actually like coming out and taking the Miz and Morrison's money and just standing there at the ring like this, and Ron Simmons with a big cigar hanging out of his mouth. You know, like I'd be cool with that. It'd be like almost right. So so with SmackDown,
that's crazy.
So yeah, exactly. So SmackDown was basically Roman Reigns and Jey Uso beating down Kevin Owens
and stacking shit on top of him
every 10 minutes and just being like, bury him, bury him, bury him, bury him, you know, like, and what happened? Every single time Kevin Owens got up and he...
Which is why I thought that the ending of that match was going to be different. Back to my 5-year-old self. We talked about this before. You get beat down on the show before the pay-per-view, you're going to win the pay-per-view.
Well, and it wasn't just he got beat down at the paper or at you know this SmackDown. He got beat down at every SmackDown, except for one. The very first one when he sat down at that front of the table and he was like, "I'm the head of the table now,"
and kicked his feet up.
And after that, like it was beat down. Although I'm going to tell you, you want to talk about a pay-per-view? Sketchy Joe did not like the Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens match.
I saw that.
And I even watched the WWE Chronicle about Kevin Owens leading up to the pay-per-view because they have done such a terrific job with building Kevin Owens outside of SmackDown. Like talking smack with Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman's like, "I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Owens." You know, and you're like, I have to listen to this. This is compelling, right? And that whole thing where they're showing him with his family wearing his Zubos. People still wear those, but apparently they do. Showing that whole build-up, just like they did with the Jey Uso Chronicle. You know, like I thought.
I watched that one, and I watched the Bailey one. I was like just watching all these chronicles. I watched the R-Truth one. I'm like, wow.
I'm going to tell you too. After the pay-per-view finished, they showed a 15-minute preview of an upcoming show called WWE Icons, and they showed Lex Luger, they showed Yokozuna, and these are all inside background stories on these guys that, you know, like I never liked Lex Luger. I hated him, like as a wrestler.
What?
Yeah, as a wrestler, I hated him. I was like, and you know, the first thing they say is, when we brought him in, you know, we thought, man, he's going to be a great heel. And then Vince McMahon said, I want him to be the next Hulk Hogan. And what happened? It failed. It failed miserably, right?
So they brought him in as a narcissist at first, and then they repackaged him.
Yes, as the Lex Express. Yeah. But they talk about all that, and it never worked out. And you know, I don't know if you know this or not, and obviously we're probably going to watch that show when it comes on now, but he's handicapped. He's in a wheelchair. Yeah.
Well, I mean, all the steroids caught up with him, you know, all the steroids and the other drugs that he did.
Yeah, because he was there when Miss Elizabeth died.
Yep.
So anyway, the pay-per-view. Pay-per-view has a six-man tag match in the pre-show, or an eight-man. Six. I think. No, it was an 8-man. It was an 8-man because it was Otis, Chad Gable, Big E, and Daniel Bryan versus Corbin, Sami Zayn, and
Shinsuke and Cesaro, wasn't it?
Shinsuke and Cesaro, and Big E got the win, and unlike normal where the stuff that happens on the pre-show doesn't matter, Big E gets announced to have a Intercontinental title match on Christmas night against Sami Zayn. Then we open the pay-per-view. The opening
match.
Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles.
I was surprised.
And halfway through the match, the Miz and Morrison come running down after Drew can't walk. You know, apparently they blew out his knee. they add him they add the Miz into the match, and almost as the Miz tries to climb up and steal the belt,
That was my favorite.
just grabs him, throws
Like
him
a
outside
baby.
of the ring through a table, and then
Just picked him up, just carried him, and just dropped him on the table.
and then Morrison, Chris Barrett says, "I'm surprised R-Truth didn't lose the 24/7, 365, I-95, 48-11 title last night.
You forgot 7-Eleven.
7-11, 48, 7 or whatever. I don't even know. Like he's like the 52-time champion now with that.
That's why I think
they're finally letting that title die.
But when I'm pretty sure he got Booker T, so he goes, I know you're the five-time. But I'm like, the 45, 57, not 65. He's making up numbers. I love R-Truth.
Yeah, exactly. So then we get that match turning into a crazy match where the Miz is going through tables, AJ's going through tables, Drew's going through tables. Drew finally climbs back up and is able to retain the title. I thought it was a phenomenal opener. I really love I love what they're doing with Drew McIntyre, and I can't stand that he's on Monday Night Raw because I don't want to watch that program anymore. I just don't want to watch it. I don't think I watched last week's at all, Tino. Like,
I think I did actually remember. Like I said, but I'm watching tonight.
The go home episode for a major pay-per-view, and I didn't watch it. Like, what's that tell you? Next match, we get Sasha Banks versus Carmella. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't care if you like her, if you hate her. Carmella's bringing the heat, man.
And you asked me last week. I think we talked about it. I'm like, I wasn't digging Carmella. I gained so much more respect for Carmella in that match. Like you said, she's bringing it.
She looks, and you know, you can tell Corey Graves is banging her. Because he's just sitting there talking about how hot she looks and how primed for this she is, and you just know that it's like, shut up, Corey Graves. You know, like
yeah, that's what I was thinking the whole time. Like she's gonna watch it back. She's like, "Ooh, you're gonna get some Carmella."
Mm-hmm. But heck of a match. Like I'm gonna say, Reginald adds something to her.
Yes.
You know, although what's up with them pants that don't actually go down to his ankles?
I mean, she went from no chin to Reginald, so she upgraded.
Oh yeah, James Ellsworth, the turtle, the turtle,
the turtle.
But Sasha ends up pulling off the match, so great win there. Then we get the Hurt Business versus the New Day.
That match surprised.
27th time they faced each other. And
now,
what happens?
What I find interesting about that is, what's up with your boy Cedric? It's almost like he's going into business for himself.
He's been doing that Hurt Business for himself.
And he's been doing that for the past couple of weeks. But did you see the look on Shelton's face? Shelton hit the finishing move right before, and Sage tagged himself in and did the pin, and yeah, we're the champions. Hit him with
the lumbar check.
Yeah, but yeah, we're the tag team champions, but we got a problem. You can see the look on Shelton's face. So nice, I'm wondering. Even MVP was kind of like, "What the f- was that?" You know.
I think what Cedric's basically doing. Yeah, they're gonna have some infighting and everything else. I think what he's doing there is he's gonna get Shelton kicked out of the Hurt Business.
You think?
Dude, like if Shelton's the weak link and the reason why they're not winning those matches.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Or you going the Rock and Farouk angle with MVP. Well, MVP doesn't really wrestle, so yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. Although wasn't Bobby Lashley supposed to wrestle on the pay-per-view last night?
I didn't think so.
I thought he was supposed to face off against Matt Riddle.
Not yet.
Huh. Okay. Because you know, Bobby came out to celebrate with them and was still dressed in the suit and everything. I was like,
yeah.
It's like, weren't they just talking about how he's supposed to be out there wrestling? Call Cedric the Gem. That's what Terrence just said. Kofi got 2 front teeth knocked out by Cedric. Did he really? I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they were hitting hard.
Oh, Joe McClain has jumped in on the YouTube chat now, so Cody isn't allowed to have a title match, but Cody Rhodes can. I guess he might be right. Joe also says he would watch AEW if he had easier access to it. That is part of the problem. I mean, if you own any type of streaming platform, it is pretty difficult to get your hands on. Tino, after the Hurt Business won their match, we got
Asuka.
we got the women's tag team match, and can I tell you what I was hoping they would do with this?
What's that?
All right, so backstage, Billie Kay actually told Asuka that you know she's a very good linguist. In fact, she knows Japanese, and Asuka started yelling at her in Japanese, and she was like, "Yes, I agree with you. I'll be your tag partner." And she's like, "That's not what I said, right?" What I would have loved to have seen would have been Asuka coming out and being like, "Who's my tag team partner?" Right? And then had Peyton Royce come out. And then Asuka's like, no, it's not you. Then had someone else come out. No, it's not you. And then one more time, no, it's not you. Like Chelsea Green comes out. No, it's not you. And then all of a sudden, woo! And then
Well, I was thinking that, well, and probably not at this pay-per-view, but eventually Ronda's coming back. So I figured it had to be either Ronda Rousey or Charlotte Flair to have that surprise factor.
So Charlotte posted a tweet this weekend before the event, and it said, "Don't know when I'll be back again." And I was like, "I do. Sunday night is Asuka's tag team partner." And I love
Andrade.
And I love who cares where Andrade is?
Well, see, that's how her.
He's
That's her
all up in
fiance.
that. Is where he is. He's all up in
He's
that.
what?
He's all up in that. That's where he
Yeah,
is.
but he hadn't been on him or Aquaman. Aquaman hadn't been on.
They're repackaging both of them. They have to.
Probably.
But you know, it was interesting because like, you know, they said that Charlotte was out getting elective surgery. And
What? Yeah, I'm trying to. What is
you
that?
notice she didn't have that thing, that little Ric Flair thing on her chin.
What Ric Flair thing?
She used to have that mole or whatever it was, like on her chin.
That's a beauty mark.
I think they cleaned up her whole face. Remember how like China got her jaw like trimmed and stuff. I think they cleaned her up to pretty her up some more. Like I don't know. It's not that she wasn't attractive, right? But she looked slimmer. She looked
Yeah.
She looked good in the ring. She didn't look like she missed a step.
Okay.
But I'm about damn tired of Shayna Baszler being wasted.
I think now that they've lost the tag team belts, I think that they might hopefully do something with her and push her back in the
two
maybe
of them the tag team belts, and you don't even have them go to different brands with the tag team belts. Like they could have been on NXT every week. Remember when Sasha and Bayley had the belts? They showed up everywhere.
What I think they're doing is because we all know Rousey's coming back. I think they're going to build something.
We do?
Yeah. Ronda's coming back. I don't know if she's coming back at Royal Rumble or when she's coming back, because they're wanting to do another Becky Ronda at they want to do it at WrestleMania. So, but if Ronda comes back, I don't know if they want to put Shayna, against her or with her. I'd be interested to see Shayna go against Ronda, actually.
I think that if you start aiming towards something like that, you actually try to go 4 horsewomen against 4 horsewomen. But like if you notice, Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke haven't been anywhere on TV. It's kind of like Dabba Kato and Riddick Moss. Those guys got drafted to Raw and they're gone.
Maybe they got repackaged. Isn't one of them having a baby?
Dabba Kato?
No. The women you said, Jessamine Duke and Maria Shafir.
Maria
No.
Shafir is Roddy's wife. So
No, it's what's his name's wife. Damn it, she was part of the Riot Squad. The
Sarah
Viking
Logan.
squad.
Sarah
I think
Logan.
she's pregnant.
Well, she's not even under contract anymore. They let her go. And obviously, like now the other guy from the Viking Raiders isn't even on TV anymore because
He's hurt.
Well, no, but the other one, the bald guy. Was that Eric?
Eric and Ibar. Was it Ibar?
Yeah. Like the only time we got to see Eric was when they were talking about when they did one of those chronicles and it was and he's talking about what was it, Drew McIntyre?
Yeah.
That he's talking about? Yeah. So all right, so far the whole pay-per-view's been excellent. Like great matches all up and down the card. You get after that match was Roman versus KO, right?
Yes.
And damn it if they didn't tear the house down.
Yes, I think so. I know probably Joe would probably disagree. Like you said, I don't quite know what he didn't like about it.
He keeps calling it boring, but how can two guys falling off ladders through tables and chairs and Paul Heyman get a boring chant from anybody?
It can't.
If that crowd was full of people, it would have been a "this is awesome" and holy shit the entire match. So Joe, you're in the chat. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what you didn't like about it? Because you got two people that are going to tell you that you're dead wrong.
Because Roman, I don't know what it is. This since he's been back is on fire.
No,
everything.
No. Bray Wyatt was on fire.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too. But everything from and the little bit of a promo, he doesn't do a whole lot of promos, but what he does do, it's like, where was this Roman when Vince was trying to shove him down our throats, you know?
So last Friday night, not even the most recent Friday night, but Paul Heyman sitting there saying, "If you want me to hold the belt, I will. But I know you don't want me to because we do this on our time. We don't do this on his time." And I was like, man, he's trying to turn him into Brock with that, you know, like we do this for the money. But then Roman sits there and he's like, we need to put food on the table. That's what we do. We put food on the table. You know, like and it's just great. So but the match itself, man, when he did that spear through the wall,
I thought he was dead.
I thought the match was over. I thought as long as KO can get in the ring and climb all the way up, it's his.
And we talked about it last week. It was Roman. Somebody finally sold a stunner. I think it was Roman sold the stunner in the ring.
Yeah.
The correct way.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, Jey Uso does not know how to sell a stunner.
No.
He just like crumbles underneath it. You gotta bounce. Like
and
it's his cousin.
Did the whole
it's his cousin that used to sell the best stunner. Can't he just call up Rocky and go, "Hey man, how do you do that?" Well, you gotta push up off of it, right?
The Rock would sell the hell out of that stunner.
And you know why, right? He came out and told the story as to why. Because he said, because him and Steve Austin used to have a joke backstage that whoever sold the other's finisher better had or the other one had to buy the beer.
Okay.
So that's why he started doing the push off and the flip over his head and everything. Like, although who was it that the one time got like the RKO and just landed like straight up and down?
What's that? Triple H? Triple H would sell something when he wanted to.
Yeah. Vince sold the stunner. No, Vince McMahon did not sell the stunner the best. Chris Barrett. Chris Barrett also says, I think Roman versus KO had the worst ending. And I think Jey should have been the one to get the belt and then walk off without.
That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought Jey was going to climb up, grab the belt, and hand it to him.
I thought, okay, so I knew I knew in my heart that KO was not winning this match.
Yeah.
I wanted him to win this match. Logically, it made sense even for him to win this match. But what I actually thought was going to happen was Jimmy Uso was going to come down and grab.
I don't think he's cleared yet.
I don't. It doesn't matter if he's cleared. He could climb the ladder and take the title and walk off with it.
Okay.
You know, or just as you think that KO is going to take the title and the other two are buried and everything else, like KO had done to both of them, Jimmy Uso comes out and hits him with a steel chair, and then Jimmy Uso climbs up, grabs the belt, and hands it to Roman. You know, I could have seen that, and it would have made sense to me. But I gotta tell you, like all that build up for KO to just
I don't think it's done. I think they're still gonna.
They'll give him another match at Royal Rumble, but then he's not in the Rumble. And right now,
why not? Why can't he do double duty? It's happened.
I guess he can, but I mean, like, think about it though. Like he has built himself so well in a losing effort that like people want to see him win that title now.
So do they give it to him at the Royal Rumble,
No.
or they let him win the Rumble and face Roman at SummerSlam? I mean, at WrestleMania. No,
I don't. I mean, they could do something where KO sits there and says, "Just give me one more chance, Roman," and Roman sits there and says, "No, you had your chance," and then KO has to be put in the Royal Rumble. I could see that. He begs Pat Buck for an opportunity.
I'll buy you some more salamander pants.
Salamander pants. So okay. I love the match. I thought it was amazing. I thought those two guys really, really put out like everything they could, and it just it just amounted to nothing for KO. You know, he made Roman a million. So you know what it was, and Chris Barrett kind of poked at this a little bit. He just said Mick Foley once did triple duty in the Rumble, and he did because WWE had so few people on roster at that point. Amazingly enough, now they're WCW with like 250 wrestlers under contract. I could totally see what KO right now is the Mick Foley to Roman being The Rock because Roman needs someone that's elevating him, and KO's like the only guy on roster that really can keep up with Paul Heyman on the microphone. He's the only one that can keep up with Roman in the ring. You know, like Daniel Bryan can keep up with him in the ring. There's no problem there, right? Like we know that DB can wrestle him. We know that Jey Uso can out wrestle Roman. You know, we know Roman's not the best wrestler in the world, but The Rock wasn't the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, The Rock's best matches probably weren't wrestling matches. They were probably like the with the what?
Quit matches and things like that.
Exactly.
With Mick Foley.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, we're getting that, but you know, at some point, The Rock had to lose that belt to Mick Foley to make Mick Foley justified. And right now you're just not going to do that with Roman because you really do have to build up this head of the table.
So you think he's going to hold that until WrestleMania?
Right now, I don't see why I wouldn't. Joe chimes in.
You think he's strong enough now where he's one of those, like we always talk about the guys who don't need the title? You think he still needs the title?
I think he does right now. I think if he goes for an extended period of time and takes out somebody that they build to be the guy, and you think that he's going to take the belt from him, and then he doesn't take the belt from him, I think that's the point where Roman's finally there. Like, Roman doesn't need the title, but Roman isn't justified without the title. You know, like his character right now needs the title. The way that they've built it, he needs that title. Unless it's, I run this place. Like, if all of a sudden he became the authority figure on SmackDown, and he started making the matches and everything, then I could see them going, okay, he doesn't need the belt anymore because now he's got something bigger than the title, right? He's got the program. and I just don't see them doing that. Although I can't stand Adam Pearce as the authority figure, because it's like what the hell did you do to get that spot?
Yeah, I know who he
You're the
is.
only one that wants to show up backstage. I mean, at least Pat Buck wears salmon pants.
Salamander
Pants. So, sorry, Tino. I know that you and I both want to get going off of here at some point. So let's go ahead and talk about that elephant in the room that got caught on fire last night.
When did they have time? I guess when he took so much time outside of the ring. I'm trying to figure out when they got that dummy in the ring.
Oh, dude, I don't think that it was live at that moment anymore. Like 2 weeks ago, where Randy Orton was pinning Bray Wyatt, and then all of a sudden he looked down and it was the Fiend. They cut away from the live feed. It wasn't live anymore. So
is that how they did that whole the Friday when he was in the box and they set the box on fire, and the thing was supposed to.
Either that or the other thing that they do in that situation is it's got a trap door underneath it that they can pull him out. Because that's what.
And then he comes back up, changed into his Fiend costume because he wasn't in Bray Wyatt. He came out the Fiend.
Yeah, then that was probably two different things. Chris, the Inferno match was not a cinematic match.
No.
And it should have been.
I was wondering how they were going to do it because remember the original one with Kane, they had their fire around the ring. I thought it was cool the way they had it around the whole Thunderdome. I thought that was cool.
I did too. At the same time, I just didn't like the match. Like, is Randy Orton supposed to be babyface all of a sudden?
No, the Fiend's still babyface.
The Fiend's a babyface?
That's the way they had it set. The people are cheering him, and they're making Orton look like a heel.
Well, Orton is a heel.
Yeah. So the Fiend's a babyface, or the Fiend might be a tweener.
I don't know. I obviously haven't watched Raw as intently as we used to, and it just, I don't know. Like did this kill the Fiend? Or
that's why I'm going to watch when I get off of here.
Well, if they're smart, they're not going to have him show up today. Like they'll keep him off TV for a couple weeks, and then when
they'll probably have Alexa or somebody come out and do something.
Or what they'll do.
It's the Fiend. He can still come out as Bray Wyatt.
I don't know how you do that. So Tino, I got one last thing to talk about since I really don't have I don't know how to actually speak on this whole Fiend thing right now, and we will bounce after this.
Cool.
Rumor is that USA Network is furious at the WWE's ratings for Monday Night Raw. And last week was the lowest rated show that they have ever done, with 1.57 million viewers.
So you know what that means? That means old Vince needs to let go of the reins and let Triple H sprinkle some of his the dust over Raw.
So interestingly enough, the rumor is, now obviously no one can confirm or deny this, that USA is requiring more adult content.
It's about fucking time. Excuse me.
No, you're fine.
Sorry, it's about time. They need to get out of this PG era. I mean, you've got TNA, which I know you don't watch. Impact is doing more adult stuff. You've got even NXT and AEW. They're saying shit every damn week and then flipping people off. Back like Stone Cold used to do. That's their little what was it? The inner circle. They're like, all right, put it in. You're in. They're all. They've got to catch up.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they could actually go ahead and do that, because their advertising is better than it's ever been, and it's because they're PG.
But they're about to lose a network.
The weird thing about it to me, though, is that they always say that they're PG to get the younger audience, and they're proving that they don't have the young audience anymore. Like, the ratings show they don't have that young audience. So what do they do to get that younger audience?
Bring back the Attitude Era. Now, I know back when the Attitude Era, that was supposed to be for the adults, but who the hell was watching during the Attitude Era? You had high school, college kids watching during the Attitude Era because they got to do what they want to do. You had all the Diva matches, the bra and panty matches, all this stuff that was more adult oriented. That brought the kids in, and that brought that younger demographic in.
So Terrence, hold on, let's see. Chris Barrett says, "Do you remember why they hung the Big Boss Man? Then they showed up the next day on Raw." I guess he's talking about the Fiend getting put on fire. Terrence says, "Great Monday Night Football game as well." So I guess that was last week. Chris Barrett says, "We need more blood. We need more Russian chair, Indian strap, and ethnic matches." Chris Barrett also says, "WWE doesn't need the ad money, and of course, when you want the ratings, hashtag bring back DX." Joe out there says, "If they switch Drew and Roman, I'll be able to watch SmackDown again." I don't get it, Joe. SmackDown has been
on fire. Who's doing the writing for SmackDown?
Who cares? Keep doing it.
Exactly. They need that magic on Raw. Is what I'm saying. Who's over on SmackDown?
I think that SmackDown is the show that Vince doesn't like to go to every week, so he's not rewriting the program every week.
I guarantee you, some of that stuff outside of Roman still has Paul Heyman fingerprints on it.
It might. I also think that you're actually getting input from the guys that are wrestling the matches on SmackDown, whereas you might not be on Raw because they might be too afraid to ask. You know, like for example, I think that Sami Zayn, being Kevin Owens' best friend, is probably getting his stuff in those matches. You know,
Sami Zayn is Kevin Owens' best friend.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, they said beating Kevin Owens' best friend. I'm sorry.
No, being his best friend.
Oh, gotcha.
His best friend. He's getting his stuff looked at, and he's able to say what he wants. The fact that Daniel Bryan probably has creative control over his character as long as he wants to wrestle with WWE. He gets to say what he wants. Like, these guys aren't even hampered by a script where they're handed the script and told, you have to read this word for word. Kevin Owens is given the limelight, the green light to go ahead and do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Shavar has joined the chat, and he says, "My guys," with a Scott Steiner.
What's up?
And let's see, he also says, "I don't know what it is, but I have always gravitated to Raw over SmackDown." Shavar, I understand, but I can't watch 3 hours of Raw anymore. I can't do it. I can't even watch the 90-minute version on Hulu. Like, and we have the no commercial Hulu. So, like, I don't even, like, I can't watch it. I love Alexa Bliss. I love Drew McIntyre. I love AJ Styles. Hell, Randy Orton's been on fire all year. Not like he did with Bray Wyatt, but he's been on fire all year. But there has been something about, and NXT has been bringing it since AEW said, we're going to bring in Sting and Shaq. And NXT's like, we don't need to bring those guys in. We can just out-wrestle you. And they've been doing it, right? SmackDown literally put on like 3 matches on Friday night, and that's all they had to do because they let Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns just go to town.
And do their thing.
And Raw struggles to get through 3 hours every week. It struggles, and it shouldn't. You've got Charlotte, you've got Asuka, you've got Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, the Hurt Business, which is supposed to be on fire. You've got the New Day, which is probably the most over tag team WWE actually has.
Because they keep using them over and over. I think they've got 3 hours. So I think that they need to try to showcase more talent.
I agree.
It's happening. Like you even said, how many times did we have that New Day Hurt Business match, tag team match?
Like 27 times.
How many times can we see Ricochet go against
Mustafa Ali? I could watch that match like 38 times in a row, man.
When he hadn't gone against him yet.
And what's up with his name changing to Mustafa?
I don't know.
Like, did they just forget how to say Mustafa?
Yeah. They're trying to be fancy.
Shavar also says, even when I realize the action is better on SmackDown, I agree they definitely need to go 2 hours. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
If Raw dropped the 2 hours, you'd have less stress on the broadcast. He also says, shout out to the AEW video game, might be the best in a decade, and he's got his thumbs up there.
Is it out yet?
No. But Tino, it is going to be. It's made by Aki, the same guys that made No Mercy and all the like. They're even bringing back the creative director from those games. I'll tell you what, if that game doesn't have a creator wrestler that allows you to make anybody in the entire wrestling world, then I'm not sure it's going to be the best wrestling game out there, because with all the guys changing back and forth.
In order for it to be the best wrestling game out there, I want the old school controls. Like, I'm always talking about the old SmackDown versus Raw back in the old ones.
Oh yeah. Like it's being made by the guys who did SmackDown versus Raw, or not SmackDown versus Raw. It's being done by the guys who did WrestleMania 2000 and.
Yeah, but I don't remember those the controls.
Oh man, those were the controls. Those were the controls.
We'll see.
Let's see. Chris Barrett says Raw needs Miz and Morrison to go do stupid things like they did with DX. No, they don't. In fact, that's part of the problem with Miz and Morrison. Miz and Morrison need to be more serious and actually start playing to their strengths, which is not being a talk show host and a sidekick. They need to actually be a serious threat, and they're not being allowed to be. Chris Barrett also says, I doubt Sting will be in the AEW game. Actually, don't be surprised if he's the pre-order bonus.
He's going to be in the game.
Yeah, I can't see him not being in the game, especially since if they do what they did in the old school No Mercy game, where you could build anybody yourself with the creator wrestler thing, I expect him to be in there. Tino, I don't really have anything else, man. I
guess if I talk too much, I get the cough back. So, yeah, I think I'm done.
Well, you brought the smoke tonight, man.
I appreciate it, man. That was good. It was good.
Let me see if I can cue up some music without losing the picture. I think I might be able to. If you want to go ahead and start taking us out, sir. Folks,
all right.
First, I just want to say to everybody out there, thank you so much for following along on the show. And please don't forget to have a happy and safe holiday. We will be back next week, though.
Oh, that's right. You guys have a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Until then, you can check this fool out at Podcheck. You can check me out at HoodieFan91 on the Twitter machine. You can check out the show, Tino and Potsy. Potsy and Tino on Twitter. We're Potsy and Tino Show on Facebook. You can catch him. Is it at Podcheck on Instagram and Rob Podcheck on Instagram. And you can catch me at Tino on the Instagram.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so.
Did we get a chance to shout out to Adam's House Cat? I don't think we got to play them. Play them. Okay, so shout out to Adam's House Cat for the wrestling song. That's our theme song. You can go to iTunes and check that out for 99 cents. And I think that's it. As always, on that big hill, I hear it. And that is in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's the Nature Boy. And he is saying, woo! Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.
Like, follow, and subscribe. Thanks so much for joining us.